Alright guys, this is it. This is the loser bracket finals. The winner of this best of three will go on to face We Has Asian in the winner bracket, or I guess you could say overall finals for the qualifications for WCG's World League Tournament. Again, mTw taking on Copenhagen Wolves. Copenhagen Wolves, again, the ones who took mTw down to the losers bracket in the first place. Now they're going to be joining mTw here in the losers bracket to see which one of these two will be able to make it back into the grand final stage. This is going to be a best of three, not a best of one. So there is a chance for either of these teams to come back if they end up dropping one game. But of course, 2 in a row will mean a sweep. And we could see a potential 2-1 as well. And then Brood and Tinker being taken out here by Wolves pretty quickly. mTw going to go ahead and ban out the Naga Siren as they are not going to be Radiant for this game. Chen also banned out on their part as well. So Tinker is one of those heroes that we saw banned today, I think, in one of the second ban phases, but not really in the first so much. It also leaves a lot more stuff open. I mean, at the moment, Lycan's still in the pool, Darkseer is still in the pool. Lycan actually going to be taken out by Wolves here instead of mTw. You feel a lot of times that those are picks that you could kind of force mTw to take. There are some cases where you can just abandon that strategy entirely and just not ban it at all, let it go through, and then pick a bunch of really high-tier heroes in the first 6 picks, but looks like we're not going to be seeing that, as Lycan is in fact going to be taken out by Wolves. So the last of the first bans out here for mTw. What are they going to take? Are they going to go ahead and ban out the Darkseer? They're going to try to do a little bit of a workaround. Now, if they do ban Darkseer, then they're giving away, okay, they are going to take it out. So they could give away potential to Shrek here. It's going to be first pick, Nature's Prophet making it into the pool once again. Pretty often that he is seen into the pool, not actually banned out too frequently. So now we're going to see what Wolves can actually go for here. And they are taking their time. They're kind of deciding on what they want to go for. Not sure if they want to go for more of a push-oriented strategy. I think Nature's Prophet, though, no matter what, as a first pick, is pretty solid in pretty much every single situation. He can just do so many different things. He can gank, he can push, he can be anywhere on the map he wants to. And yep, they're going to go and pick him up. So now, mTw, we'll see if they want to go for the Leshrac or anything like that. Nope, they're going to pick up a Lone Druid pretty darn fast here. Cinderin apparently wanted to get that hard carry in the pool before anything else, and a Rubik, so leaving the Enigma Leshrac in the pool. I mean, those are 2 very strong push heroes, of course. We'll see if Wolves wants to go ahead and pick those up. And it's interesting because right now, mTw's lineup, they have Rubik, who's a pretty good support, actually probably one of the better supports in the later phases of the game, and Lone Druid, who has decent mid-game, great late game, but his early game's a little bit weak. So at the moment, they don't really have a whole lot of push defense. If Wolves decided to go for 2 very heavy push heroes like the Enigma Leshrac, then it would force mTw to have to react to that in some sense. They wouldn't be able to just keep along with their no real anti-push. Rubik can use Fade Bolt, but that's pretty much it to stop pushes. Then Lone Druid has to get his Radiance up, or in Mjolnir in a lot of cases nowadays. People have kind of made the transition going to that instead of rushing for the straight Radiance, which in some cases I think is a pretty good idea. Obviously, the attack speed from that gives you the Bear Roots and stuff at a much quicker rate, but still 2 picks out here, going to be eating into their bonus time. Morphling and Shadow Demon taken back to back, so they're going for a massive burst damage combo. Of course, Soul Catcher partner with Morphling. You have the Adaptive Strike Ethereal Blade thing that we talk about so often, and partnered that with 50% extra damage taken. That basically cuts your effective HP in half, which means that shotguns are going to hurt a heck of a lot more than they usually do. But on the flip side, because you do have that Rubik support, you have to worry about Nullfield later in the game once he gets those levels up, if it is going to be a support Rubik, which, I mean, it's going to be a while before he gets there. But eventually, given a long enough game, he will have those 4 ranks into Nullfield, which is 20% reduced magic damage in general, which is going to help out to stop that Morphling from pretty much just exploding somebody on mTw's team. But Enigma, going to be the last of the first 6 out here, or first 3, I should say, but first 6 in total. Now, mTw, as a second ban phase, is going to go ahead and roll over, and Beastmaster is taken out here from Wolves, so they don't want to have to deal with that and going up against their Morphling. Of course, Enchantress taken out as well, so the double jungle is completely gone now, completely taken by mTw. Not going to see that at all this game. And going up against a Shadow Demon Morphling, man, that is a really scary damage combination. Plus, not to mention him in the ability of Morphling, Shadow Demon, he's super defensive, and he can be aggressive as well. It's not really just one or the other. He can do both pretty much just as effectively with his ability of disruption. I mean, if you get stunned, telekinesis, you get Malefice, you get Black Hold. Even if he can't get to the Enigma to stop the Black Hold with disruption, he can disrupt somebody inside of it. So there's just so many different methods to using Shadow Demon. I'm actually a bit shocked that we haven't seen him picked so much in this tournament. And actually, I think this is one of the first games we've seen him at all, as Leshrac is going to take his lead from this pool as the last ban out for Copenhagen Wolves. Now, the ball's in mTw's court. We'll see which one they're going to go with in terms of bans. And looking at the lineup from Wolves, of course, they have their carry, they have their long laner and a support, so we could see potential mid-ban here, maybe an Invoker, although Invoker just really hasn't been that prioritized. Like, people just completely have left him by the wayside in this tournament. Maybe there's just a pact that nobody is going to pick Invoker if the other team doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the teams had some kind of agreement like that, because the hero is, of course, very, very strong and considered one of the top-tier heroes in the game. But one more ban out. 5 seconds left, and they start cutting into their bonus time. Once again, guys, this is a best of 3, so there are at the very minimum going to be 2 extra games, this one and the next one. That's if one of these teams manages to sweep the other, which, of course, at their caliber, I don't think is going to be the case. We're probably going to be seeing a Game 3, and the Brewmaster is going to be the last ban out here from mTw. So not wanting to take any of their own medicine. Last game we saw Kebab's Brewmaster being very annoying against an Enigma. You just pop the ultimate. There's pretty much nothing that you can do to stop it. Even if you're black holing, the Brewmaster aspects don't care at all about that. The Earth one can still just throw a rock at your head, and then, of course, you can't ult after that unless you have your BKB finished. But now, getting into the second pick phase, Wolves going to go ahead and try to pick up their last 2 heroes, along with mTw picking up 2 of their own. And I'm kind of curious as to what they're going to go with now. I mean, again, they do need a mid. They do need probably at least 1 more semi-support. Tide's still in the pool. Tide is definitely very good against Enigma before he gets his BKB. Eating into their bonus time. About a minute left here. And I'm not really sure what mTw is going to go with. Their lanes are probably a bit more flexible. They have the Enigma who can long lane. They have the Lone Druid who can long lane. Rubik can support. They are going to pick up Invoker here from Wolves, so I guess that's not too surprising. There weren't really too many mids left. Queen of Pain was left in the pool, but Queen of Pain doesn't really have any method of interrupting Enigma's black hole, and I think that they wanted to be a little bit safer. They have Disrupt, they had Adaptive Strike, and now they're going to have more to boot with the Deafening Blast and the Cold Snap on top of that with the Invoker, so they can interrupt him so many different ways. Now we're going to see another pickup here from mTw, but as I was referring to their lanes, I mean, they just have so much flexibility. I guess you could say Wolves does to a certain extent, as well as now Veno is going to be added to the lineup here of mTw. But Morphling is a hero that doesn't really go anywhere but to a safe lane, or at least in a tri lane or anything like that. So it's going to be semi-predictable from Wolves, whereas mTw, again, they can send pretty much anyone anywhere. We'll see, though, who they're going to be sending towards mid, which I don't think they have just yet. And since they banned out the Brew, I don't think they're going to be sending a Lone Druid against Invoker, although it is possible. Lone Druid doesn't do terribly in that matchup, but I don't think he's really going to be winning the lane too handily or anything like that. Plus, you have to worry about Nature's Prophet ganks and things of that nature. So it's going to be a little bit rough. We'll see, though, what they're going to go ahead and choose to go with. 50 seconds left on the clock here for Copenhagen Wolves, eating into their bonus time once again. And they are very, very intently discussing what kind of hero they want to go with here. Probably going to be a secondary support, and they are going to go ahead and pick up the Tide. So to be expected, the Enigma, I mean, Black Hole is enough to warrant picking up a Tide, but you want to have things to lock down heroes like Lone Druid and Venomancer as well, and they're very, very susceptible to Ravage. The one thing you have to be careful of, though, is you have to make sure you use your Anchor Smash immediately after Ravaging, and Rubik's going to steal it. If he doesn't get hit by the Ravage at all, he's just going to steal it immediately, so you have to be really, really fast with your Anchor Smash, and of course it's going to be down to the Rubik player this game to see if he can actually get those spell steals off in a timely fashion. So now, last pick out of the game before we get things underway. Again, this is Game 1 in this best-of-3 series between these two teams. mTw taking on Copenhagen Wolves for the loser bracket finals here at WCG. The winner of this loser bracket finals will go on to face We Has Asian for the finals of the entire tournament. Of course, I will not be allowed to cast that because that's main stage. I'm only able to cast the stuff that is not main for you guys. So once again, thank you guys for watching and sticking around throughout the entirety of the cast today. You guys have been great throughout the last couple of days. 1 minute left on the clock here for mTw. And I mean, they have their double supports, they have the jungle, they have the Lone Druid. Are they going to pick a long laner? Not really sure what they're going to go with just yet. They're going to go 2-2-1, and yep, they are going to go with the Windrunner, so that's their last pickup. And I mean, it was pretty obvious. They didn't really have much other choice than that. They could have picked up, I mean, something to do a 2-2-1, maybe like a CK or something like that, and have the Lone Druid Lone long lane. Tied by words that are a bit, but nope, it's going to be a Windrunner instead. So we'll see if it's going to be actually a mid Windrunner, maybe. Who knows? I mean, mTw's lanes are a little bit unpredictable at the moment. We'll see, though, what they're going to go ahead and use them as. Looks like we're going to have Balsam playing on that Morphling. Nino going to be playing on Shadow Demon. S4 playing on Invoker. Dre going to be playing on Nature's Prophet here for Copenhagen Wolves. And just waiting on the last people from mTw, of course. I don't think anyone's actually picked their hero just yet. And Calculus, of course, playing on that Tidehunter, rounding out their lineup. Kebab going to be playing on Venomancer. Bucking Mad going to be playing on Enigma, which probably means a Cinderin, I would assume, on either the Rubik or the Windrunner. Funzy, of course, going to be playing on his very, very well-known Lone Druid. Sakshka actually playing a winner, so yeah, so it's going to be a Cinderin Rubik, so probably a solo. And Funzy, of course, on that Lone Druid once again. Good luck, have fun comes out from Wolves. Good luck, have fun comes out from mTw as well. So the game is going to be underway. The entirety of Wolves heading their way towards top here. Make sure I got my bang. There we go. Cool. Overlay is all set. Nature's Prophet and Morphling going to be coming up here with the rest of Wolves. Tide with his little mohawk here and his spikes on his back. And of course his half-eaten fish. Enigma, Windrunner, and Venomancer all top lanes so far. Cinderin was kind of lingering around here at the tier 2 as well. But he's going to look like he's heading towards mid or bottom, where Funzy is already doing some bear scouting of his own in the enemy jungle. And he's going to spot out basically a solo invoker. So ultimately it is going to be a lone druid versus an invoker at this point. Unless S4 is going to just head towards mid instead and not worry about anything else. He's going for a Quas Wax build unless he wants to go Blades of Attack and Exort, which is just a tremendous amount of base damage. It helps you last hitting in the lane significantly. They don't have a whole lot to line up Sunstrikes, though. That's the one thing. They can disrupt, they can gush, and they can sprout, but really the disruption is the only thing that's going to help you line that up to a T. They don't have really any opening stuns or anything like that, where typically you'd see like Shadow Demon, Sand King, Leshrac, heroes like that who partner with a Shadow Demon. And apparently we need a remake because Firan put a point in the stats. So we'll be back in just a second, guys, with the game. I'm going to go ahead and just pop on the overlay, turn on the music for just a second, and as soon as the game comes back, I'll make sure that you guys see it here first. Once again, my name is Draskyl. We'll be back here in a couple of seconds, guys. Stay tuned. Alright guys, we're back. Of course, we have hosted for all pick as the draft has already been completed. Everyone just going to go ahead and pick up their heroes here. Once again, this is game one in the best of three between mTw and Copenhagen Wolves. Copenhagen Wolves sending mTw to the losers bracket first. Now, Copenhagen being sent down here by WeHas Asian in the winners bracket. Now, the winner of this is going to go back up there to face them in the grand finals. And of course, I want to thank you guys for watching. My name is Draskyl. On behalf of NEODota.com, I would like to welcome you to this broadcast. Just waiting for everyone to go ahead and get sorted out so we can bring this game to you. And we'll see if we can get that done in a timely fashion. Hopefully we won't have any more pauses or anything like that. Today has been a pretty long day. We've had a lot of delays throughout the weekend so far. I actually think on average it's about 2 or 3 hours later than I think most people were expecting it to run. But of course, I will still be here bringing you guys the rest of the games for today. So albeit 2 or 3 more games, including this one, I will be here throughout the entire cast. So Looking forward to bringing you guys those games. Everyone is going to finally pick up their heroes here. There we go. Everything should be in order. So Synderen, again, going to be playing on that Rubik, so he's going to be farming for sure. Kebab on the Venomancer, bucking mad, playing on that Enigma Sakshka. And the winner and Funzy, of course, once again on that Lone Druid. Then, ready for Copenhagen Wolves, we got Dre on that Nature's Prophet. Calculus going to be playing on Tide Balsam on Morphling. Nino going to be playing on that Shadow Demon. And then, of course, S4 going to be playing on that Invoker. So let's check out our Furion here. Looks like he doesn't, in fact, have any points in his stats this game, which is always a good start. Getting a point in his stats is definitely a mistake that you don't want to make. And I think at level 1, these teams are actually going to be relatively even. If there is a Nature's Prophet tree in this fight, they can use it to convert and things like that. Ward's going to go down. Are they actually going to engage into this? Both teams kind of staring each other down. Wolves kind of hesitant. They don't know if they want to go in or not. It looks like it's not going to be the case. Going to see a Sentry Ward dropped here pretty much straight away, and another Ward coming out from mTw as well.
30 seconds to battle.
And everyone's just going to go ahead and fall back, but losing that Ward in the top lane is actually a pretty big deal. Not having any sight for the first couple minutes of the game, that means Furion's going to have a really rough time here. He's made his little stumpy trance, he's going to do some scouting of his own, but the rest of Wolves are going to be heading towards their respective lanes. Morphling, of course, going to be in that safe lane, being followed by Shadow Demon. I assume Ty is going to be making his way towards that bottom lane as well, which will mean that Enigma, at the moment, looking like he's going to do some converting of creeps here in the middle lane for Synderen. Unless Synderen's playing support, which, you know what, he is. He is going to be playing support. He has another 100 gold, though. He's going to be heading up here with Kebab here in the woods. Fonzie in the bottom lane on that Lone Druid, going up against this trial lane of Wolves. And he can still use his bear to pull creeps. He's actually already in position right here, as you can see. He's just going to go ahead and drag it back up in front of his tower. Nino trying to block it or do whatever he can to prevent this, but it's not really going to work out. Balsam, though, playing it pretty intelligent, running up there, pulling the creep wave to it in the middle of the woods. So now, Funzy's in a position where he's like, okay, well, now I can't get the creeps at all because they've actually clashed. And Funzy's sitting way over here. I don't actually think he's even in experience range at the moment. So a nice heads-up play there by Balsam, dragging the creeps over to the side, preventing Funzy from getting any semblance of experience that he would have otherwise gotten. Yeah, he's sitting at pretty much 0-0 right now. Oh, actually, he got experience for that one. So he's getting a little bit. Middle lane, Synderen taking on this Invoker. Level 1 Fade Bolt is going to help a bit. Rubik is one of the few heroes who can actually equalize the base damage difference between Invoker and other heroes because Fade Bolt just reduces it by so much. I think level 1 it's actually 14. Go ahead and double check and see if that's the case. The Telekinesis goes off in middle lane onto S4. Cold Snap being applied on Synderen as well. Yeah, it's 14 at level 1. Scales by 6 per rank. So eventually that Fade Bolt's going to be a pretty big equalizer for him in terms of being able to last it. And of course, use it on the hero itself to make sure that it hits him and not the creeps. But looks like Synderen going to be not taking that that road. He's going to go ahead and use it on the creeps just for the CS. He is level 3. I think he just wants his bottle a little bit faster. He's sitting at 450 gold, so wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. Going to see a Gush going off onto Funzy, actually. No follow-up after that. Calculus just being a little bit annoying, but now he's going to take some autos from Funzy and his bear. Top lane, Sakshka running around in circles with this creep attacking him at the tower. Going to be able to see us pretty easily on top of that. And Nature's Prophet playing this pretty aggressively. If Kebab lands one Gale, this Furion is going to be forced to TP out. No Shackle just yet. Yep, there's the Gale. Kebab going to chase him down to the low ground. And he's going to go ahead and just TP back to the tower. Kind of exactly what I was saying there a second ago. But, of course, he can't just sit there and take the damage. There's no reason to anyway. If he can just teleport. It's only a 30-second or 40-second cooldown anyhow, so... Gotta open the CS here. 14-1 for Windrunner, 12-1 for the Enigma. Now 13, of course, he's in the jungle. Morphling sitting at 10-6. This bear being very annoying in the bottom lane. Funzy managed to get level 2. He needs to be careful, though. Nino going to come out from the side and throw out... Oh, no, he's not going to disrupt him. Wow, okay, never mind. I thought they might choose to go for a kill right there. He was definitely within range, but the rest of Wolves a little bit too out of position. Synderen, in the meantime, managing to get his bottle here. Going to be sent to him in his middle lane. 9-2 for him. Invoker sitting at just 8-3. So this even middle lane, pretty close. Kebab's going to be chasing out Nature's Prophet towards the tower once again. And Saksha's just going to go ahead and continue to farm. And mTw has changed it up a bit, man. They're prioritizing farm on heroes like Venomancer and Windrunner, where we don't typically see that. And I mean, they won pretty handily with their farm Venomancer. I'm not even going to lie. Like, they pretty much dominated with it, so I'm not going to say that it can't work, and that's why Dota 2 is such a great game, because so many things that you don't really see too often in terms of who's going to be prioritized for farm working out that well. I mean, it's exciting to see. It means that other stuff is going to be used in the future that maybe we're not seeing right now. Bottom lane, Funzy looks like he might be in a bit of trouble. Nino coming in from the back. There's the Gush. Going to wait for the disruption out right there. Soulcatcher actually goes off first. There's a disruptor. Waveform actually disjointed by the disruptor, not doing too much damage. Is he going to drop anyway, though? One auto attack from Morphling will get the kill, and Wolves is on the board. Ballstomp getting a kill, and meanwhile, top huge dive. Windrunner also gets a kill on Nature's Prophet, so it was a race for first blood. Unfortunately, mTw loses that race. Sakshka using a full health salve right there and pretty much getting it knocked off instantly. Oh man, S4 going to be in some trouble. Cold Snap used. Synderen actually getting turned around on his Zephyrion. TP's in. Cold Snap still doing quite a bit of damage, and the tornado comes out. That's going to be a dead Rubik. 2-1 right now. Wolves getting themselves ahead in the kill department. Very, very fast kills coming out in succession here, and 4 minutes in. Pretty much 3 kills within, I want to say, 45 seconds of each other, which is pretty darn fast last time I checked. Lone Druid bottom lane manages to get level 3 while the rest of his team is off helping get kills and such. Of course, that is very important. Sakshka sitting at level 5, 28 CS, second highest in the game next to Enigma. Of course, Enigma with those jungle creeps. Not going to be as much overall gold, but if we look at the gold per minute, looks like Morphling is actually leading with 389, dropping a little bit because of that first blood inflated his CPM just a bit. Windrunner in the same boat, though, with that extra kill. 373 for her. 295 right now for that Enigma. Nino over here farming creeps, and it looks like we saw a big dive in middle lane. Synderen actually dropping here. Bucking Mad going to be in some trouble as well, as he's going to go down. Sprout actually tries to eat his way through, but it's not going to work, and Enigma also gets... Oh man, what the heck just happened there? Rubik and Enigma both died, and Tide actually died elsewhere too. I don't even know what the heck he died to. There's just kills going on all over the place right now. 6 kills in just 5.5 minutes. Fearing on TPs, conversions, stuff all over the place. Tide Hunter's dying. Who even knows what's going on anymore? TP in here from Synderen. Oh man, he actually cancels it. Good call on his part. Probably would have got cold snap there for sure. Nino, level 4 now. Has that 1-2-1 build, pretty standard stuff. 1 disruption, 2 soul catcher, 1 into that shadow poison. Of course, you can use that for scout, and you can actually level it up secondary, but some people actually like going 1 soul catcher and choosing to level shadow poison secondary. I actually think that soul catcher is just too good to not max out. I mean, every rank you get it, it's 10% more damage taken. Of course, the first rank is the most potent, starting at 20, but all ranks are quite good. Synderen, only level 5, doesn't have his boots just yet. He's 0-2 now, only 18 CS. Of course, Invoker is tied with him on CS. Now Nino up on the high ground with that invis right on top of Synderen. They're going to have a disruption off right there. Here comes Calculus from the low ground. Oh man, telekinesis up here. Teleport from Furon as well, man. This is like a 5-man gank on Synderen. Holy cow. Wolves, every single person here but Morphling, who's in that bottom lane. And they're going to be looking to push this tower. Only level 1 Treants, though. Going to see TV reaction coming out from Sakshka. Shackle attempt not going to be successful. There's the Malphus going off on a Calculus. Gale as well. That's going to be a power shot. Quick kill coming out from mTw. So they get a little bit of a revenge right there for losing their Rubik. But man, Synderen having a rough start. 3 deaths already. He's actually 3 out of the 5 deaths right now for Wolves. I mean, that's rough. Well, I should say 4 mTw, but I mean when I say 4 Wolves, that of course Wolves has killed him 3 times. Soul Ring here picked up on Enigma, sitting at level 6, almost level 7. Kabop, level 5, going the standard Plague Ward build. And Synderen trying to get level 6 in his middle lane. Invoker sitting over here, level 7. It's a pretty big level discrepancy this early on. It's only 7.5 minutes in. And you're about 2 levels behind, give or take. That is not a situation he wants to be in. He does have that spell steal now, so that's going to help him out a bit. Wolves down here, going to be smoking up again. Looking to maybe try to catch out Funzy if they can. Bear scouting the woods, but of course the bear does not remove smoke.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Funzy. Oh man, he's moving up. Oh, this could be a counter gank, though. Enigma's actually here as well. Nino going to get caught out by the Malphus. Buckingman is here. Does he have the black hole in time? He's going to manage to clip Nino and Calculus. Bellstomps that in, though. Funzy will end up dropping in the meantime. Now Nino in a lot of trouble. One auto attack from Sasha going to be able to get the kill. And Tide waves his anchor in the air. Now Ballstomp trying to dive into the tower. Nice shackle, though. He's converted to strength. Can he actually get the waveform off in time to get the kill? No, he can't. He's actually just going to use it to retreat instead. Nature's Prophet ult going off. He's going to go ahead and try to TP in bottom. Who's he going to go for? Is he going to go behind the tower? He is. He's going to go right into Buckingman, but he gets Malphus as soon as he gets there. Sachka with the power shot with no HP. He's going to run into trees. Oh my god, he barely gets away the conversion. Coming out on the second tree and barely keeps him alive at bottom lane. We're going to see Morphling almost taken out here by Rubik. He's still converting his stats right now. Cinderin does have that haste rune. He steals the Morph to boot. Now he's bottling up between auto attacks here. Can he actually get another Fate Bolt off? We're going to see the Tornado go off, and it's going to go ahead and dispel that haste. Now Cinderin's the one who's getting turned around on waveform through him, and he's going to drop. So killing spree for the Invoker, 7-5. Copenhagen Wolves taking another kill lead. mTw trying to do what they could. I mean, it was a pretty well-coordinated team fight. They managed to take out the Nature's Prophet after he tried to tower dive right there on a no HP Sakshka and Buckingman, but the Malphus was just a little bit too fast. Couldn't really do anything about that. Middle tier 1 being pressured here by Wolves. Take a peek at the gold, and yeah, it's pretty volatile right now, but still slightly in favor of mTw. The experience, though, in a little bit of favor of Wolves at the moment. Staff of Wizardry picked up here on the Windrunner. Cinderin doesn't even have his boots. The poor guy, man. He is 0-4. He is having a very, very rough game. I don't really know what else to say other than that. Tide actually going for a max and a gush. He's not going for the anchor smash build that we so often see. Ballslam living on the edge with basically no health. Sakshka making his way mid with Cinderin, and Kebab looking to try to push a tier 1 mid of their own. Fade Bolt and Power Shot being used to push the wave back. We're going to see Wolves coming up, though. Looking like they want to try to defend this Tide. Just at level 5, not even close to really level 6 at the moment. High ground, he's going to spot out S4. Can Sakshka actually get to the rune spot? Nope, the rune's not going to spawn here anyway. And Sakshka going to pop the wind run to prevent any more cold snap charges from going off. And that's going to be a free invis right there for Cinderin. I think he'll be pretty happy with that. Maybe prevent another death coming from his way.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Windrunner, level 4 power shot, level 3 shackle, level 1 run. Pretty standard build for her. Nothing really too out of the ordinary. We're going to see Invoker TP in middle lane. Are we going to see a Tornado come off or not? Nope, we are not. It's going to be a quad sweat Invoker, by the way. Gets shackled to a tree and a little bit of trouble. Power shot goes off, but the disruption saves him. Excellent play right there from Nino. Gets his Soul Catcher go off onto Buckingman. He's going to drop here for sure. Telekinesis off onto S4. Gets pulled into the rest of mTw. Can they actually get the kill? And it looks like they can with the power shot coming out of Sakshka. That's a mega kill for him. Nino taking a lot of damage from these Plague Wards. Here comes Calculus. Still only level 5. And Sakshka coming in from the back. He's looping around. Looks like he wants to try to pick somebody off in the back. Is he going to run into Nino? Oh, is he going to see him? He actually doesn't. He runs back up as Nature's Prophet is going to go ahead and TP out as well. I thought that Sakshka would have spotted him there for sure, but it is nighttime, so the vision is a little bit dimmed. Very unfortunate that ended up happening that way. Wow. Bear gets a root right here on Balsam in the top lane, but it's really not going to matter too much. Sakshka is completely dominating this game, man. Highest farmer in the game, 5-0-0. Of course, he doesn't have any assists. He's just a killer, a slayer of sorts, I guess you could say. Calculus coming towards middle lane. He does have Rabbit. Shackle going to go off, though. Oh, man, Sakshka is just on fire right now with the Shackles. Balsam going to wait for him as well. Here comes Nature's Prophet with the Sprout on a Kebab. He immediately tangos his way out, though. Cinder in a lot of trouble. Soul Catcher and the Purge going off from Nino. He's level 6, and that's going to be yet another death for this Rubik. That is the 5th death of this game already. It's only 12 minutes in. Cinderin is just not having a good day right now. I mean, that is pretty much all I can say about that. Boots, by the way, picked up on Funzy along with his bear 11 minutes into this game. He is sitting at 1,100 gold, so he's trying to recover as much as he can. He's caught up a little bit. He's the 4th highest farmer in the game, but the difference between the 4th and 3rd place is about 20 CS, which at 12 minutes is a pretty sizable margin. Haste Rune going to be bottled up here and activated here by Balls. I'm not sure if he wants to try to go for a kill or not. Force Staff already done on Sakshka, by the way. Completely insane farm. Only 12 minutes into the game. 6-0-0. He's going to be heading towards bottom to potentially kill this Nature's Prophet and push the bottom lane, of course, too, as a tier 1 is quite low on health. Oh, man. Balsam's actually going to spot him out, though. He's going to spot him. He's going to go ahead and Force Staff back into the river as Bucking Mad falls back as well. And, of course, mTw did have that rune ward down here in the bottom river that spotted him out as he was going down there. Calculus still with that Ravage up. We'll see if mTw can actually make some kind of a push happen here in middle lane. Synderen, level 8, manages to get his little brown booties here. And Deny going to be there from S4, so nicely done. Tornado going off on a Kebab. Are they actually going to choose to go on? Oh, Saksha gets hit by it as well, and he doesn't actually get it off in time. He looks like he might actually drop it as he does, as Furion TP's in disruption going off on a Kebab as well. There's Wayforman coming in from Balsam to pick up the kill. Now Synderen in trouble of his own, and that's going to be another 3 kills. They do end up getting the tower Deny as well, so Wolves coming out pretty much hands over fists right there on top. That was a very, very nice exchange for them. 3 kills and a tower Deny. I think they're going to take that. Ghost Scepter picked up here by Balsam as well, so he's going for the fast ethereal, not going for Lincolns or anything like that. Doesn't even want to mess with it, just wants the pure, unadulterated damage output of having a Soul Catcher and an Ethereal Blade very, very fast, and I think he will have it probably before the 20-minute mark. In the meantime, though, Bunzi still farming away, man, getting up to 2,000 gold. Lone Druid's one of those heroes where if you leave him alone, he will catch up, and it will be very, very fast. He's now sitting at 51 CS, so closing the gap between him and the top 3 farmers. The top, of course, still being Morphling. Balsam sitting at 76 CM and now, or 76 CS, not CM. That would be a lot of CMs, but 79 creep score right now for that Enigma, who right now is actually, where the heck did he go? There he is. He's sitting top lane with his convergence, not ready to push top lane, as there's going to be a bear here as well. Morphling popping a double damage. It looks like he wants to try to go on this top, but it's not going to work out as mTw manages to get a tower for themselves, and they're going to go ahead and fall back to their side of the map. So let's take a look at the gold, and it's still pretty even. I mean, even though the kills are going in Copenhagen Wolves' favor, the gold is still very, very close. The experience, though, is pretty much always going to be the difference when you have a kill lead. Sakshka going to get gushed out here. Pops the wind run, 4 steps himself back to safety. Going to be just fine for the moment. Pings out here on Synderen. Looks like Wolves wants to pick on poor Synderen a little bit more. Maybe give him a 7th F for this game. Pinging him out in middle. Level 7 on the Shadow Demon. The Shadow Demon's actually almost the same level as the Rubik. That's a little bit unfortunate. Drum and Phase, by the way, picked up on this Invoker. Tied. Nothing really to speak of other than boots and a wand. Morphling, of course, we talked about his Ghost Scepter already. Shadow Demon sitting on top of boots, a Sentry, and an Observer Ward. Furion gonna have his Midas up and Treads. Go over the players. mTw here really fast as well. Funzy up to 2,600 gold now. That Forest and Arcane Boots were finished a while ago on that Windrunner mech. Belt of Strength and a Soul Ring there on Enigma. And Venomancer with the support role going for a Brace. Actually has a lot of gold considering he's a support. A lot of members of Copenhagen Wolves down here grouping up. Not sure if they want to try to smoke, but they are going to counter ward and end up finding a brand new ward. That's like Christmas, man. Not that you can know or anything like that, but if you do manage to find a ward that's brand new and you kill it, that is 6 minutes of no vision, basically, or 5.5 at this point. Smoke up, by the way, on mTw, looking like they want to try to engage into something. But what is it going to be? Ravage is up again on the Tide. Are they actually going to go for a Roche, or are they just going the long way? Looks like they're just choosing to go the long way. They're not going to be going into Roche just yet. Nino walking his way through the woods here. Hopefully he is not the recipient of that gank because he will die very fast with only 700 HP. They're going to spot out Calculus, though. He's going to come out. Are they going to get the Malefice off in time? They will. And he's going to get disrupted immediately. Nice disruption from Nino. Can he get the ultimate off as soon as he gets out, though? That's the problem. Soul Catcher going to go off on a Cinder and Purge, actually, on a Kabop instead. So a little bit of a misfire on the Soul Catcher. Nice. Triple Tornado EMP and the Sprout catching him and the Ravage to boot. Oh, my God. Absolute disaster. Coming out right there. mTw just evaporates. Triple kill for the Tide. Triple Ravage. Everything. Just hit every hero. Perfect coordination coming out from Copenhagen Wolves. Funzy still, in the meantime, pushing this top lane. He needs to get his Relic and he needs to get it fast or whatever item he's making because his team is not doing very well without him at this point in time. Sakshka, of course, wasn't there either. 3 heroes just getting picked off instantly right there. Even with the smoke up, 15-7. Copenhagen with a commanding kill lead now, as they're going to start pushing into this tier 1 bottom lane. Take another peek, and yeah, after a team fight like that, Shackle is going to go off onto the tree. They're not going to latch to S4, though. The rest of mTw teleporting into this bottom lane. Kabop finishing up his Tranquil Boots. And the experience lead is really going to be the one you have to keep an eye on because every single team fight like that they win without losing a single hero, that is a huge deal. 7,500 experience at only 17 minutes. When you take into account Venomancer from 8 to 9 is only 900, so that's a handful of levels on every hero. So, with that being said, right now, Wolves in a very good position. We're going to have a pause out, but I want to take this time once again to thank you guys. We have actually broken the personal record for the stream today, at least for NEODota on Twitch TV, for how many concurrent viewers. We've actually overreached over 5,000, which is halfway to 9,000 for anyone who's up to date with that joke that went on. It's pretty old, though, so I'm pretty sure everybody knows where we're coming from there. But I want to give you guys a shout-out for watching the entire day, especially the guys. I think there were about 1,500 to 2,000 people kind of just sitting around for like an hour or so while we waited for everything to kind of get in order for these next couple of games. But you guys have been great. Once again, I want to thank you guys for watching on behalf of NEODota. If you guys want to follow the channel, by the way, feel free. It's on the follow button above and to the left of the video screen if you're not actually in full screen, because otherwise there won't be anything there but your monitor. And then, of course, you can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook as well at NEODota2. Aside from that, looks like the game is ready to get back underway. Perfect amount of time for a plug. Not too bad. Not too bad at all, as mTw and Copenhagen Wolves are both ready to go. Shackle going off in middle lane. Fury going to be taking some damage here. Cinderin coming in. He does have Cold Staff stolen, and he's going to go ahead and throw out the Fade Bolt and Telekinesis, picking up, I believe, his first kill of the game. He was actually 0-7 up until that point. Now he's managed to solidify him kill, and that's the point where I would just say, on the board, team, things are looking up. As Cinderin right now has had better starts in his day, I'm sure. A couple of Plague Wards being dropped here in the Roshan pay. Looks like mTw wants to try to attempt this. And this is a pretty good call, honestly. There is a little bit of vision, though, in middle lane, so I think that Wolves definitely knows about this. They can throw out a tornado into the pit if they want to. EMP is loaded as well. Roshan's dropping pretty fast, though. Bear taking quite a bit of damage as well. And is there going to actually be a tornado out, or is he just going to stand there? Oh, never mind. He's going to attack the Plate Warrior up on the high ground. That means that Lone Druid is going to get a free Aegis. Going to see a Malefice off onto S4 right here. Fucking mad, running back. Tornado hits Cinderin and Sakshka in the back. EMP going to go off. Wow, S4 gets rooted. Telekinesis and thrown into the team. Drops pretty much immediately. Fucking mad. Going to eat a Furion ult. And he's going to get purged out as well from Shadow Demon. But that's one hero down. Oh, man. Shotgun finished on Morphling. Hello. There's some burst damage coming out onto the Enigma. He just completely evaporates to the Adaptive Strike and F-Blade right there. A 1-for-1 trade. However, mTw does manage to make it out of there with an Aegis on their Lone Druid, so that's fairly important. At this point, though, mTw definitely on the back foot in terms of teamfight potential. They have to try to turtle this out a bit. Try to get something up like that Radiance on their Lone Druid, or maybe even a Mjolnir if that's the path they're going to go. But he did just buy something. What was it? Okay, it is like pretty standard Radiance build coming out on him. Calculus sitting at only 900 gold. He was a support type, so he doesn't have the greatest CS in the world, but he does have 4 kills and 6 assists, so he has a little bit more gold than some other supports would at this point. Morphling showing off his newly finished Ethereal Blade. 124 CS and 33, by the way, for Balsam. He is just farming like a monster. That is insanely good CS for under 20 minutes, by the way. And of course, having the Ethereal Blade being one of the most stat-efficient items in the game for its cost increases survivability as well. Sitting at just 600 HP, he is only 5 strength at the moment. Of course, he can convert that whenever he wants. We'll see if he wants to go for a quick shotgun here or what. I'm sure he can do so. He puts the replicate out. He's going to go for it. It's going to be Sakshka, and he takes him out instantly, man. There's nothing he can do about it. Counter waveform coming out from Cinderin. And it looks like the replicate is going to be useful enough, but Calculus kind of committing himself to maybe a little bit of an overextension. Ravage only hits 1. He's going to throw out the Anchor Smash as well. EMP coming in from the side. Cinderin's in a lot of trouble. Make that a 3-for-1 trade. Triple kill coming out for Balsam, and things have just been turned upside down for mTw as their tower bottom is going to drop to Tier 1. Has no chance of living through that. 2,100 gold saved up after the fact as Wolves continues to push down this bottom lane of mTw. Can mTw even do anything about this? They really need their Lone Druid to get that Radiance, and they need it fast. Unfortunately, Funzy's starting off in a really rough position. Couldn't quite get the farm that he wanted to in the early phases of the game. Gonna see Nino actually TP back here as the rest, or I should say the remaining forces of Copenhagen Wolves sitting here bottom. Furion and the Invoker doing what they can to try to kill this tower. Staff of Wizardry picked up also on Invoker. Gonna see a Shackle go off on S4 with the power shot. Counter Tornado coming out. Can he get the deny? And he does. Very nice deny there from Sakshka. Orchid actually finished on Nature's Prophet, so they're going for more of the cost efficiency builds. They just want to keep applying pressure. They're not going to go for a bigger item like Hex. It does cost about 1,000 gold more. I mean, it's obviously a better item in terms of disable and things like that, but a 5-second silence against heroes like Rubik, Windrunner, and even Enigma. I mean, if they're just looking for a black hole interrupt, then that's really all they need. They don't need to spend the extra money to buy a Hex or anything like that. So it's a pretty good choice in a lot of cases. If they continue to fight, I think it's going to be more than worth the investment. And plus, it gives him pretty much an infinite mana. He never has to go back to base on account of him running out of mana at this point. So that's going to be good for him as well. Sakshka has his ultimate orb picked up on top of his Force Staff and his Arcane Boots. Going for a cloak now, too. Looks like he is not a fan of the burst damage that Copenhagen Wolves can bring to the table with their Morphling. Funzy finishing up his Radiance here. And he's sending the Courier down. Oh, never mind. That is going to be Bucking Mad. Okie dokie. I was totally confused there for a second. I looked at the minimap and I was like, wait a minute. That's not your team. And, of course, it was his team. So all is going to be well.
Top tower is under attack.
Nature's Prophet picking up his Haste Rune, walking towards top. His Balsam is over here already. Oh, wow. He's actually going to shotgun the bear down. Kills it before he can even resummon it. That was an insane amount of burst damage. And now they're going to be tagging this tier 2 in the top lane. And that's going to drop Balsam getting yet another tower kill. I got to check the GPM charts. Yeah, 546 right now for Balsam, and that is ridiculous at 22 minutes. I mean, that's not even including the rest of the outer tier towers, which is one left, and then of course you have the tier 3s in the base at the moment. But mTw is going to have to react to this, man. Wolves right now looking really strong. They're going to continue to push into the base. Calculus does have his open up. It's level 2 Ravage, and they're going to steal Waveform out here, so Synderen going to be waveforming in to take out the creeps right there. 23 minutes in, 19-10, guys. This is just game 1 between these two teams. And I think this goes without saying, but this is probably the best game that I've seen so far today in terms of coordination and overall team fight. I mean, both these teams very, very high level. mTw, of course, going to be at the International. They qualified through the Western qualifiers, showing their stuff. And now today, they're trying to take out the ones who bested them already once in this tournament in Copenhagen. Wolves going to try to take them out in a best-of-3 format to claw their way back up to go against We Has Asian in the grand finals for WCG. But Wolves right now not looking like they want to give up without a fight at the very least. I mean, they're definitely leading over 5,000 gold in their favor at this point. 7,500 experience just about. Balsam has made his way towards the bottom lane, picking up a Yasha now. Looks like he's going to be going for that Manta afterwards. 2,500 gold saved up, so he actually almost has it completely done. In the meantime, Tide picking up a Force Staff, not going for the quick blink. Just going to go for the Force Staff instead, and I think that's a pretty reasonable decision. You can Force Staff people if they get telekinesis, if they get shackled, if they get black holed, things like that. It's pretty good to have in a lot of situations. This also makes it so if you do get caught, if you have a blink, it's kind of a liability at a point where you're like, oh, I just got hit and I have a blink dagger and now I can't do anything. Force Staff, you don't have to suffer from that. Synderen can actually use his newfound waveform out, but oh man, here comes Nature's Prophet. Are they going to Ravage for him? No, they're not. Okay, never mind. Nature's Prophet going to go ahead and just cancel his TP. No Ravage going to be expended right there. Oh, but bottom lane, Sakshka going to be in some trouble. Takes an Adaptive Strike and an Ethereal Blade to the face. He's going to get silenced as well from the Orchid, but he already got the Wind Run off, so he is going to be able to make it back to base. And Vizrune popped as well by him just to be able to get away. Shackle going off here onto the tree. Power Shot actually going to be a little bit off the mark. Maybe just being a little bit cheeky right there. Shackling that Waterman to the tree. Tidehunter, level 11 still. Walking around here towards top. Funzy in the meantime, he's been pretty much left alone. Nature's Prophet going to go ahead and TP in. There's the Sprout. Are they actually going to go on this TP coming out here? Oh man, Root right into Nature's Prophet and the Maleficent. He actually cancels the TP. They want to turn around and fight this. It looks like Therion is going to end up dropping, and the Bear's going to go ahead and chase down Nino. Can he actually get a Root? S4 comes in though with that drum, the max rank of Wex. Is he actually going to throw out his data or anything like that? Looks like he's being a little bit hesitant if he wants to engage into this fight or not. Synderen though, oh man, double waveform actually disjoints one waveform with another. Telekinesis is going to be sending Balsam back, and he's going to go ahead and pop to his replicate farther down towards the river. Funzy's still chasing him down though. Manta is finished on him, by the way. He's going to go ahead and waveform up to the high ground and manage to get out of that fight on the backside though. Kabop doesn't look like he's going to be so lucky. Cold Snap, ooh, the mech just in time coming out from Bucking Mad. Looks like he was going to back up anyway, but nonetheless, this Evoker is quite fast. Shackle from a long distance though. There's the Force Staff we were talking about. Power Shot's still going to latch. Radiance Burn doing a little bit of damage. Now Calculus running in like he wanted to Ravage, but he dies before he can even get it off. Nice turnaround coming out from mTw, 19 now to 12. Trading it 2 for nothing. Now mTw walking down middle lane, looking like they want to push down this tier 2 mid. Sak's going to Power Shot those creep waves down, and Fade Bolt's going to help too, of course. Aegis, by the way, still on Funzy. How long is actually on Roche? About 2 or 3 minutes left. So they have ample time to push this if they want to commit to a fight. Funzy can afford to die once. It's not really a big deal at this point. That is a fast freaking Enigma. He is like gliding right there. He's got his hands to the side. He's like, I am so freaking fast right now. Shadow Demon, almost level 11. Almost has that second rank of his Demonic Purge. Invoker sitting on top of 1,500 gold. Finished up his 4-staff. He's going for the max mobility Quaswex Invoker, which is pretty standard in terms of controlling T-fights and stuff like that. Cinderin TPing back to the base. He picked up a Vitality booster, by the way, and a Cloak. So everyone, basically from mTw, just building insanely tanky Ogre Club and Mech on this Enigma. He's going to be going for a BKB. Should have it relatively soon, I would say. And once he can actually get some decent holes off without having to worry about getting interrupted, I think that this game is going to change complexion quite a bit. Nature's Prophet looking to try to kill the Courier. Are they going to get it? They will, and it had something on it too. It had a drum recipe, which I suppose isn't that big of a deal, but Funzy now going to be in some trouble. He's going to get caught out by Balsam. He does still have that Aegis, so they're going to have to kill him twice, but he's completely out of mana. Manta is popped. Balsam coming in with the waveform. He's going to go ahead and respawn here, but the rest of mTw isn't even close. There's no tower to TP to. Sprout is going to go off. No TP for Funzy, and oh my god, the amount of burst damage coming out with the Soul Catcher combination and Balsam with his auto attacks. He didn't even use Adaptive Strike or any of his nukes. That was just pure right-click domination right there. 20-12 as Wolves fights back after losing 2 basically for no reason. And now they're going to go ahead and take out the Aegis on the Lone Druid and the Lone Druid himself. Sashka still farming away in the meantime, middle lane, getting closer to his Hex if that's the route he's going to choose to go, which I can't help but think that it is because of the fact that Morphling does not have a Linken's. I think that's probably the call he's going to make. Sashka TPing back to base now with the rest of mTw. Funzy going to be dead for another 15 seconds. Here comes Nature's Prophet. Are they going to be able to go in here? That's the question. But what did Rudix feel right there? It is waveform. Once again, Shackle going off onto the Nature's Prophet. So now Cinderin can get out of jail free if he wants to. And to disrupt actually on Balsam to give him extra illusions because those Morphling illusions are pretty darn tanky. Midnight Pulse drop to do some counter pushing. Kill the illusions and whatnot. Plague Lord's doing a pretty decent job of that as well. So BKB now finished on Bucking Mad, as the rest of Wolves is just going to go ahead and fall back. They might even try to attempt a Roche at this point, in all honesty. We see pings come out. Looks like mTw thinks they might just be gearing up to push down the tier 2 middle lane. And we'll see if they can get away with it. Balsam sitting on top of 2,300 gold, 206 CS at just 29 minutes in. Hates Hero 3, man. He has been doing an excellent job this entire game. And the Courier is sending some Sentry Wards over. Looks like they're going to try to do some counter warding before they attempt a Roche or anything like that, using the Shadow Poison to scout the high ground to make sure there's no wards. And of course there isn't, as we can tell as observers. There's nothing at all over here for mTw at the moment. Oh, 4-step up to the high ground. Shackle going under the tree right there. Telekinesis as well. Tornado's going to manage to hit 3, though, and nice Deafening Blast as well. Actually make that 4. Wow, shotgun combination going up on a Kabop. That's a nice black hole, though. Hits Calculus and Balsam both. Power shot goes off as well, and Morphling actually doesn't die just yet. Balsam's still alive. He gets rooted in place, but he gets 4-staff to the low ground. He's going to wait for it back up. Oh my god, he really threw that. A 1-for-1 trade. Shackle going off onto S4. That's going to be a power shot afterwards. Sashka picking up that kill. Now on the top side, we see Furion being chased away by this bear, and that's going to be another root coming out. So Enigma picks up that kill and make it a 3-for-1. Invoker tied, and Furion all dying. Invoker and Nature's Prophet just buy back instantly. It looks like they didn't want mTw to take Roche after a fight like that. That would have been a big deal. Excellent micro on the replicate right there, killing out the haste rune, making sure that mTw doesn't get it, and yet another root as well. So this bear, pretty root-tastic last time I checked. Rooting pretty much everyone. Purge going off onto Sashka. Shadow Poison going to scout him out. Disrupt cancels a TP. Thornbrook comes out as well. EMP should be able to clip him here. Oh, it actually doesn't. He's still taking quite a bit of damage from long range, and the Sunstrike is not going to hit him, but the Sprout will. And there's the Orchid just to boot, as Furion, with the right click, manages to get the kill on the Windrunner. And there's another buyback, so musical buybacks again seems to be a constant theme of this tournament. When in doubt, buy back. Now Wolves looking poised to try to take this Roche. And Calculus tied again without using his ultimate, so he's going to have it for this next team fight if they choose to engage. Soulcatcher pop on the bear. They're just going to go for it, man. Yep, they just killed the bear pretty much instantly. Forces Funzy to resummon it. That's 2 minutes on cooldown. If that bear dies again, he's not going to have it for a while. Balsam sitting at basically no HP. I really can't believe he lived through that black hole. That was absolutely insane. Sashka 4-staffing and Windrunning up to the high ground to avoid that tornado coming out from S4. The rest of Wolves continuing to look down middle lane longingly like they want to try to get a tower here. Cinderin stealing waveform once again. Throwing out the Fey Bolt to do some harassment damage. 1,800 gold here on Windrunner. Of course, Windrunner having to spend a little bit of money on a buyback. It's a bit unfortunate. Nature's Prophet picking up his ultimate orb now, so he's going to be going for a Hex in addition to his Orchid. 22 to 15 at 31 minutes in, guys. This is just game 1 in this best of 3 series. Going to be bringing you game number 2 and possibly a game number 3 after that. I believe we are done for the day. And then we're going to have the grand finals tomorrow, casted by Epi, of course, on the main stage. So I am not allowed to cast those, but I do want to thank you guys for your continued support. It does mean a lot. And for joining us throughout the entire day, of course. Oh, wow. Morphling coming in here gets stunned out by the telekinesis as soon as he goes to his replicate. Ultimate Orb picked up on himself as well. So he's going to probably be going for something like a Scotty, I would imagine, at this point. Just wants a little bit of extra HP, and he's playing in man mode, man. Sitting at 900 health at 32 minutes in. That is not a lot of HP. Gets shackled to the tree. He's going to go ahead and bottle up. Fade Bolt goes off, and look at how fast, man. He's not even converting. This guy has nerves of steel. He does not even care what happens. Malefic's going off onto S4. Oh, man, here comes the Ravage with the 4-staff in. Now Buckyman taking quite a bit of damage. He does have the BKB. Can he get the Black Hole up in time? No, it's 3 seconds on cooldown. He actually drops before the Black Hole even comes up, and now Balsam running away. He's converting stats as fast as he can. He does not have a replicate out at the moment. Cinnamon taking quite a bit of damage. Oh, he misses the waveform, actually. Calculus coming in from the side. Shackle going off on a Calculus in the meantime. Not going to latch anything, though. Enigma currently dead, unable to buy back. S4 running back into the right-hand side. We see the bear actually eating a soul catcher right there. Nature's Prophet attacking his tier 2, and that was a pretty sloppy team fight, I gotta say, overall from both sides. That was really strange. It's kind of like there was a big initiation from the Tide, and then nothing really happened after that. They managed to get the Enigma kill. Enigma, unfortunately, like 1 second left on his black hole. Now Tide is gonna be able to retreat. They didn't even get the tower. I mean, it's just like a lot of abilities used, and only really 2 hero kills happened. Very interesting exchange from both teams. 23 out of 15. 229 CS, by the way, on Balsam, sitting at 1,500 gold. In addition to the Ultimate Orb he just picked up less than a couple of minutes ago. So he's going to be getting very, very close to his Scotty. He's going to need 1 more Orb, of course, and that point booster, and they'll prevent him, and he'll pretty much be completely finished. Nino, sitting on level 12, has drums finished, has a full wand, has Arcane Boots as a support Shadow Demon. He is just living the life right now. 2, 1, and 11. So he's doing quite well for himself. Another Bracer picked up here by Tide. Now it looks like mTw is the one who wants to end up going for this Roche attempt. See if they can make it happen. Sakshka throwing out a Shackle. Not really going to do much of anything. Fury and Ultimate bouncing pretty much between everyone. Fonzie sitting in the pit with his Vlads. And of course, Radiance on the Bear. Bear doing the tanking at the moment. He does have enough for his Bear is off cooldown, so he can resummon it if he wants to. And he is going to go ahead and do that. Top tower ends up dropping here. Top rack's completely exposed. It's going to be a free rush right there. Lone Druid picks up the Aegis. S4 coming in here like he wants to try to engage, but he does not have his team at the moment. So Furion getting that tier 3 top. Pretty important. Fucking Mad making his way towards mid with Sakshka and of course Kabop as well to try to defend their tier 2. And this is a really close game so far, I gotta say. Looking at the gold, it's about 5,000, almost 7,500 in favor right now of Wolves. But as time goes on, that kind of a lead becomes less and less significant. Right now, 5,000 experience in their favor as well. And I mean, a lead is a lead, but it's not like 7,000 gold at like 20 minutes or 15 minutes. I mean, 35 minutes, that's a couple of team fights pretty much. Or like 5 minutes of flash farming or something like that for a couple of heroes. It's not really that much. So, we'll see if mTw can continue to stem the tide, get their Lone Druid to a point where he can just carry the game pretty much, with the help of Invoker, of course. Oh, nice 4-staff right there out of the tornado range of S4. If that hit him, he would have been in a lot of trouble, as the rest of Wolves was right behind that Invoker there. Replica going to be used again. Going to be to split pushing and stuff like that. 2,800 gold now saved up on this Morphling, so he definitely has enough for a second Ultimate Orb if he wants it. He can also go for a point booster, depending on which route he wants to go first, but I still do think he's going to make that into a Scotty. S4 has an Ultimate Orb of his own, so he's going to be going for a Hex. Cinderin sitting on top of a full pipe and a Vitality booster, so he's going for like the pure kind of supportish build. Morphling picking up a double damage rune at the top rune spot. Has it bottled up for a later fight, and that's going to be a huge deal, man. Oh, man, Nature's Prophet teleporting in middle. Actually chooses to cancel it instead. Replicate out here. They're going to notice it, though. Not going to be going for that at all. See some pings out in the jungle over here, but no real action happening just yet. Calculus looking like he wants to venture up into the high ground. There are Plague Wards up here, though, and conversions and stuff like that. Even sentries, so no smoke or dust or anything like that's going to happen. Shackle not going to latch anything. Cinderin stealing waveform once again. We see a 4-staff out. Hex used on Asakshka. That's going to be a shotgun combination in the Orchid as well. He's going to 4-staff out, but I think he's going to die to the Orchid damage. No, the pipe and the mech save him. Counter Ravage, though, coming out from Calculus. Hits 3 heroes. Funzy going to go in after the Purge goes off. Looks like S4 drops to Enigma in the meantime, and that's going to be a Shadow Demon down as well. 2 down right now for Copenhagen Wolves. They're going to be forced to retreat. That Ravage with the pipe and the mech just really didn't do much of anything at all. No damage really being dealt. Now Nature's Prophet in a little bit of trouble. In the meantime, he does have a Hex and an Orchid, but yeah, he is not going to be making it home. Midnight Pulse and the Malthus, even though he sprouted himself, that is not the kind of save that he was looking for right there, but 3 down in quick succession right there. mTw with a very nice turnaround. They did not losing their tower, but I think they're going to be overall happy with how things turned out for them right there. Gold still kind of slightly climbing in favor of Copenhagen Wolves. Experience, though, dipping quite drastically. Funzy, of course, with a newly found Aegis. Bear sitting on top of his Hyperstone and his Radiance. Enigma now with his BKB finished and a Blink and a mech to boot. I mean, Bucky Man is actually quite farmed right now. He's the 3rd highest CSer in the game, sitting at 210. He's actually higher than Funzy in terms of CS. We'll go ahead and take a peek at the overall gold per minute. Yeah, 503 for the Morphling, still the highest farm in the game. Winner in the meantime, picking up her Scythe, 465 for the Nature's Prophet. We'll see if mTw can actually push this tower here. Going to see a Tornado go off and the EMP. Funzy going to take a little bit of damage, but not really too worried about it. And the bear actually gets clipped by it too, but Metamancer here. Maybe throwing a Plague Ward up into the high ground. Ice Wall is dropped to prevent any pushing coming out here from mTw. Of course, top lane we have Nature's Prophet and Calculus both up here looking like they want to do some counter pushing of their own. But the next couple of team fights I think are pretty much going to decide the game. I mean, this is so even. It's like, it's getting to the point now where 40 minutes, 45 minutes in, if you lose a team fight on your side of the map, if you don't have buybacks, you're losing some Raxes for sure. We're going to hear Hex go off in middle lane. Balsam going to be in some trouble. He does have that Scotty finish. Going to be able to get to the replica, though, before any shackles end up coming out. I guess Sakshka wanted to play it safe, looking for the sure shackle, and unfortunately didn't get the opportunity. So this Morphling, 1,500 health with only 1 base strength, 245 agility at this point in the game. That shotgun is going to hurt a heck of a lot with that much agility. Calculus sitting at level 14 with his drum finished. S4 sitting on his ultimate orb and his force staff and his drums and his phase. Funzy, I think I just picked up something. Yep, okay, there we go. He finished his AC. Roche is actually halfway to being up, so they're going to want to try to engage sometime soon. Oh, Blink in coming out from Bucking Mad. Going to get the Black Hole off. He does, but it only catches Nino. Of course, they can't cancel this, though, because of the BKB, and that's going to be a very, very dead support. Shadow Demon S4 up on the high ground here. Bucking Mad going to get caught out a little bit, too. Wait for him in. There's a counter Ravage. Hits 3 heroes. And now we're going to see Bucking Mad getting an auto attack down from the Scotty Morphling. That's a godlike speed for him. Sakshka on the high ground going to get caught out by S4. Actually gets duped a little bit. There we go. 1 auto attack going to be enough to get the kill. Now Cinder and Orchid inside of a Sprout as Venomancer drops on the right-hand side to some auto attacks. And that's a double kill. 4 heroes down, almost as fast as I can even say their names. mTw with a complete disastrous turn right there. Unfortunately, I don't think Funzy is going to be able to defend 1v4. They only lost the Shadow Demon. Can Cinder and actually buy back right now? I believe that he can. Yep, he does have enough money to buy back. Does Enigma, though? He does not. And neither does Venomancer or Winner at this point. So it's going to be at the best of 2v3. Alacrity popped here on Balsam. They're going to be going all in on this tower in the middle lane. This tower is going to be dropping here for sure. Tier 3, no chance of surviving. Wolves, once again, showing why they were in the winner's bracket to begin with. Now they got sent down here in one of the last games of this entire tournament. In this best of 3, though, game 1 between these two teams, looking like they're going to be able to get 2 sets of racks here. Can mTw come back from this? That's really going to be the question. Alacrity on a Morphling just kills your base so fast. And just like I was saying, man, you lose 1 fight and you can't buy back at this point in the game, and this is pretty much the outcome. And that's exactly what happened. It was anyone's game to take. You never know. It could have been a black hole that hit 4 or 5 people and ended the game. It could have been the Morphling just killing everyone, and the Invoker as well, which is pretty much what ended up happening. But Nature's Prophet actually going to get caught out here by a Beirut and Malthus. Midnight Pulse dropped as well, but Morphling on the top side pops BKB. Fucking mad. Going to pop his own BKB. Everyone basically turning yellow at the moment. Ballstorm trying to run away, but the entirety of mTw is chasing him out, and I think he's actually going to go down here. Don't think he's going to be making it home. Ciderin stealing that Morph. 2,200 health on him. and getting a double kill for that Enigma. So 27 to 21, but 2 racks is down. It's going to be a little bit problematic coming back from that. Of course, Funzy still does have the Aegis. It's going to be up to Bucking Mad if he can get that big black hole. They need it so bad right now. If they don't get it in the next team fight, if they lose one more like that, then it's going to be Megas, and Megas are pretty hard to come back from. I actually don't think I've ever seen a competitive game where a team has come back from Megas before, so we'll see though if mTw can make it happen. It looks like they are going to be going all down this middle lane. We see pings going out. Nature's Prophet's going to be alive in 30 seconds, and this is kind of the problem too. The lane's not that pushed right now in favor of mTw, so when that Furion is alive, he can basically just teleport to a lane, push it back in, and force mTw back. This is the problem playing down in Araxes against a hero like Nature's Prophet, but they're going to choose to go in middle anyway. This is pretty much their only call. They are going to be doing quite a bit of damage with this tower. They might even be able to trade racks. And in the base back here, Alacrity popped here on this Invoker. He's using his Forge Spirits as well. He's going to be able to get the tower, or at least force someone to TP back. And the rest of Wolves still walking outside of their base. Oh, nice Shackle. Nice disruption, actually, to boot after the Kraken Shell actually breaks the Entangle. He's going to get a Hex right after, though. Calculus taking a lot of damage. Can he get the Ravage off in time? He does. He manages to hit 2 heroes, though. Nice sidestep there by Synderen, though. Manages to dodge it. Pipe is popping. In the meantime, Calculus is going to eat another Shackle. And a couple more auto attacks should be more than enough to get the kill. Base towers, though, taking some damage as S4 has made his way back to the base. Gonna see a tornado go off, hit Funzy. Oh man, he's all by himself. He doesn't have a team right here. Looks like Venomancer coming in from the side to try to help him. There's the Orchid. Furion TPing in as well. Cold Snap is used. Another route onto Nature's Prophet, but this time he doesn't have the rest of his team to help him out. And that's gonna be a dead Funzy. He is not gonna be living through this. He will have buyback if he absolutely needs it, but that is not the kind of fight that Lone Druid wanted to take right there. 11-1, by the way, for Balsam, sitting at over 500 GPM, almost 550 at this point. CS-wise, he's 302, highest in the game. Nature's Prophet sitting at just 266. Well, I shouldn't say just. That's still a heck of a lot, to be totally honest, at this point in the game. mTw, though, looking like they are in a bit of a pinch in game number 1. And this best of 3, guys, remember, this is the loser bracket finals. So whoever wins this game goes up to the upper bracket to face We Has Asian once again for the final WCG qualifier match in Cologne, Germany. Balsam still farming away. Roshan's going to be up here really soon. This might actually be the last point of the game where people choose to fight. I think if mTw gives away an Aegis to the Morphling at this point, they're going to lose, and I think if they lose the fight at Roche, they're going to lose anyway. I mean, it's going to be pretty tough for them. It's kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place. They have to fight Roche, but they also can't fight it. It's going to be so tough. Like, if Bucking Mad gets like the best black hole of his life, they could come back. It can happen, but it's going to be a really tall order for mTw right now. S4 and Morphling both kind of hanging around by the Roche pit. Roche is spawned now. Gonna get scouted out by these treants. We'll see which team is gonna actually go to it first. Balsam still sitting towards mid. And this is a situation too. I mean, there's no towers to TP to at all outside of the base for mTw. They have 2 Raxers down, so the lanes are always going to be pushing onto their side of the map, which means it's even harder to get over to Roche. You can see they had to kill that entire creep wave and then walk to the right just to avoid the mega creeps here. And Soxer can't even really let him go, because if they let him go for too long, then they're just going to push into their base, and then they're going to end up losing more base towers or buildings, or maybe even a potential tower right outside of the throne. So, smoke up here, used by Wolves. Looks like they want to try to get the positional advantage for this potential last fight of the game. I mean, even if mTw wins it, they can counter Rax pretty easily as well. I mean, Lone Druid does a heck of a lot of damage. He's got that bear, he's got the AC on it and the Radiance, and that thing kills buildings pretty fast too, so we'll see what happens. Balsam in the pit, though. 40 seconds left on his Replicant. He is killing that thing very, very fast, though, by the way. On the top side, mTw all grouping up. Ice Wall going to be dropped to prevent any more advancing from mTw. And it looks like Morphling is actually going to go ahead and back out of the pit, not choose to go in. Waveforming up middle, trying to push in as hard as he can to give mTw a reason to leave that pit, to force them back. Nature's Prophet being very annoying top lane. Actually going to catch out a bear, doing some auto attacking. Not going to get the bear kill, though. Calculus standing up on the high ground. overseeing the Roche attempt here. Alacrity popped here on Balsam. Are they going to get it in time? Can mTw get down here to stop it? Going to see disruption going off. Anderson, there's Shackle up as well. Sasha coming into the pit. Can they get the steal? There's a Hex off. Sasha still inside. The Roche is getting quite low, and it looks like they are not going to get his Morphling picks it up. We see a nice Ultimate, though, hitting a couple of people. There's a nice counter rabbit as well, hitting 3. Now we're going to see BKB popped by fucking mad, but he's going to drop this way too fast. His Morphling just does too much right-click damage, and everyone is pretty much already dead on mTw. Wayne Enigma is already dead. And it looks like Kabop has actually disconnected from the game, and the good game, well playeds come out from mTw, and they're saying go next. So game 1 in the books. Wolves takes it 31-22 at the 47-minute mark after that Roche fight, and as to be expected, that was the last fight of the game. Once again, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. My name is Draskyl. On behalf of NEODota, I want to thank you guys so much for being here for WCG's loser bracket finals. We'll be back with game 2 in just a bit, so stay tuned.
Dire's ancient is under attack.